Hello, assalamu alaikum to all of you. I know it's a bit late here in the UK. Assalamu alaikum. Greetings to all of you. Thanks for joining in this Facebook Live that I want to do. Assalamu alaikum to all of you again. I hope all of you had great Eid. Thank you for joining my Facebook Live. I think you all should know what I'm going to talk about today. I think what's trending on social media we all know. But I'm going to give my few cents here. I'm going to give my views to the Barrow government, to what's happening in our country. For records, Assalamu alaikum, everybody. It's really disturbing that what happened today in Gambia. Sometimes it's difficult to add meat to bones and try to make sense out of this, because sometimes it's just like a movie. What's happening in New Gambia today? We all woke up today, and first of all, I was at work. Occasionally, I would go through Facebook, like I think most of us do, to check on timelines and see what's happening. Somebody sent gruesome pictures to my WhatsApp. This is a person that I don't want to mention the person's name, but he is always current about what's happening in our country. Most of the information I get, he will send it to my WhatsApp. And I said, what's going on? I said to the person, what's going on? He said, don't you know the incident that happened at Faraba? I said, what incident? Then somebody wrote on my timeline, Sehu Sedili, we are waiting to see your reaction on killings in our country. Because this person, I think he's watching me. I thought he is normally very very critical of the Barrow administration. I thought somebody was just trying to pull my leg. And all of a sudden, I saw timelines, and I saw somebody, a good friend of mine, Lamin Konate, who lives in Crawley here with me. You know something? First of all, I want to express my heartfelt condolences to those people, the people who lost their lives today in Faraba Bantang. May their departed souls rest in perfect peace. And I also want to seize the opportunity, like where I live in Crawley today, the sad news on the demise of an elderly member of this community who passed away in the early hours of this morning. So for me, I've been hit with two, bad apples. The incident happened in Faraba, and then within my own community, we lost a very formidable elderly member of this community, Uncle Maudin Jai, may his soul rest in peace. I think he used to be, senior member of the police force in the Jawara administration, related to Aladdin Jai. And my heartfelt condolences to the entire Jai family. We pray for the victim. But Faraba Bantang also is something that, hit my heart. Look, sometimes I ask myself this question. Is this President Barrow that we voted for? Is this President Adama Barrow that campaigned on the coalition ticket? We supported this government. We all came together and fought against a tyrant because he was killing our people. That's Yahya Jammeh. Sometimes I ask myself the question, what's wrong in the Gambia today? What the heck is going on in New Gambia? We fought against Yahya Jammeh not because for who Yahya Jammeh is or his ethnicity, but for what he was doing in our country. I'm one person. I have absolutely zero tolerance for arbitrary arrest of citizens, torture, killings. I have absolutely zero tolerance for these things. No matter who you are, you are president, I will never support any government that has got hallmark of blood on their hands. What happened today in Faraba, I will come to the Faraba Bantang incident because I watched the interview, and I think we all watched the interview that he did with Fatou Camara of Fatou Network. And thank you again, Fatou Camara of Fatou Network, for excellent job that you did today. We're really proud of you, the media fraternity, Faraba Bantang, Fatou, Ker Fatou. You're doing fabulous job, all of you. This is what we expect of our media outlets to do in our country. If anybody thinks that we were a part of this change for glory, you are making the biggest mistake of your life. Gambians will not tolerate dictatorship. We will not tolerate dictatorship. And if anybody underestimates the power of the social media, you're making the biggest mistake of your life. We have heard that the Interior Minister has said that this will be investigated to the letter and the alleged culprits will be brought to book. We hope that this is not lip service. Look, the chronology of events in the Barrow administration. Last time when I did my Facebook Live, I said, someone like me, I'm losing patience with this government. I said it openly. And I think a lot of people have lost patience with this government. What's wrong with African governments? What the heck is wrong with African governments? What is wrong with these PIU officers? Trigger-happy PIU officers. Look, you will not take the gun and point it at yourselves to kill yourselves, but you will point it at innocent citizens. Look, I don't care what the youths did. Whether they burned the trucks or whatever, I'm not saying that was right, but that doesn't, you cannot match up damage of property to the lives of human beings. We demand the Barrow government to do full-scale investigation into the deaths that happened today. And the culprits have to face the full force of the law. Otherwise, we go after President Barrow's government. If this is not investigated and alleged culprits brought to book, I for one, I will declare my lack of support for this government publicly. I am not going to support any government in Gambia. I don't care who you are, that will be culpable of killing our citizens, and you want to leave that under the carpet. That's a no-no for me. This matter has to be thoroughly investigated. The culprits have to face the full force of the law. We have to do that. The Interior Minister, I understand, will be summoned to the National Assembly tomorrow, together with the IGP. And we want to thank the members of the National Assembly. Summon the IGP, the Interior Minister, and demand answers. And the lives of human beings cannot be taken for granted. In the space of 1 year, 6 months, when Haruna Jatta was killed in Kalilai, we said he gave the government the benefit of the doubt and said the reports that we heard, the disgruntled members of the APRC confronted the economic forces. We said that. We gave the government the benefit of the doubt. 1 year, 6 months on, we are seeing trigger-happy PIU officers using live ammunition against our citizens. What a joke. How callous is that? What's happened to tear gas? Over a decade ago in the United Kingdom, we witnessed one of the biggest demonstrations in this country when David Cameron was a prime minister. The university students went on protest. They vandalized business centers. Properties were burned. What millions of pounds. No single life was lost in that demonstration. The police used water cannons, they used tear gas, and they were very responsible. Why would the Gambia government even dispatch PIU officers with live ammunition? Who is responsible for these PIU officers? That person should resign. It is the National Assembly should demand for resignation of whoever is in charge. The Inspector General of Police, the Interior Minister by now should have resigned. But I heard Fatih Kamara say something. Resignation is not something that we do as Africans. We think it's a taboo to resign. What happened today is the same on this government. And same to those of us who support this government. It's the same on the people that rally behind this coalition government. Look, we went against Yahya Jammeh because of the same acts that he used to do. What made you think that we will give you a pass for doing exactly the same thing that he was doing? These people by now should have been arrested. And when I listened to Pamudu Bojan's interview with Fatih Kamara, it's really shocking. He said the PI officers told him, if this was Jammeh's time, we would have killed all of you. Pamudu is one of the illustrious sons of the Gambia. He's doing a fabulous job for the Gambia. But they are unhappy with him because of his utterances. Because he is trying to expose their dirty work. And they want to pay. Even Fatih Kamara should be careful. I'm not trying to scare my sister. President Adama Barrow, we would expect you to address the Gambian nation. We don't want to hear from the Interior Minister. We don't want to hear from the IGP. President Barrow, by close of today, you should have addressed the Gambian people. And by tomorrow, we want you to address the Gambian people and tell us what's going on within your government. The cracks have happened. This is not good, President Adama Barrow. Look, you've already put a dent on your legacy because you're the leader of the country. You have to take ownership. When we advise you that you have to purge the security apparatus, we advise you that you have got the Yahya Jammeh enablers around you. Some of you think that we in the diaspora are making too much noise. Because we had the president say it many times. Diaspora, it's time to work. Look, we are not going to keep quiet until we see decency happening in our country. And I'm proud of the people in the diaspora. And the people back home who actually flooded their timelines condemning this callous act of our security forces. This is not about partisanship. This is not about being in UDP. This is not about which party you belong. It's about the country. This is not a UDP government. And I'm 100% sure the leader of the United Democratic Party, who is a decent person, and the person of Lawyer Hussein Udaba, will not be happy to see that this government has got blood on its hands. 1 year, 6 months on. So, for those of you who think that this is UDP thing, so we should be careful what to say, look, the country comes first before party affiliation. For me, I cannot speak for anybody else. Nobody should sit down and watch this government behave like the way Yahya Jammeh government behave. Look, do we deserve this as Gambians? We were under trauma for 22 years, President Adama Barrow. You were there. You saw what happened. The people like Lawyer Dabo were arrested, put under custody, tortured. What the heck is going on in our country? Are we cursed as Gambians? Are we just with bad luck when it comes to presidency? We had Sadauda Kairaba Jawara, who was soft. He let a lot of things happen. Corruption was rampant. People will use state resources. The whole man will just dismiss them. There will not be any inquiry. People will steal government resources at the expense of the poor masses. And they will go and build expensive houses in Pipeline and Fajara at our expense, while the ordinary masses suffered. The old man will just remove these people, and sometimes he would compensate them, appoint them as ambassadors. This happened under our nose. Some of us were going to school. We came from poor homes. We suffered. We saw children of ministers, managing directors, abusing our resources, abusing our wealth. Then came 22nd July 1994. We moved from the frying pan into fire by having that irresponsible murderer in the passing of Yahya Jammeh. 22 years, the Gambians kept fighting. Eventually we succeeded last December to the December 1st elections. And when the change came, we were all inspired. We thought, now Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. We thought now we have got decency in our country. What is happening right now, some of us said, let's give the government the benefit of the doubt. Institutional transformations do take time. We've said it many, many times. I have said it in many of my videos. And we gave this government, even where some people started condemning this government, we would say we should not have constant negativity towards this government. But what happened today, for me, is the break in the camel's back for me. This is completely nonsensical. This should not happen. And the leaders have to take responsibility. We can blame those PIU officers. The IG should take example. This is what happened when you put square pegs in the round hole, Mr. President. You changed my party. He was doing a good job. You brought in somebody who is officially related to the president, and that's where the wrong started. Mr. Mbalo is purportedly related to the president. Why would you appoint somebody that you have a family relationship with as the interior minister, who has not given a single press conference since he took leadership of that office? That's a shame. The interior minister is incompetent. He needs to go. Interior Minister Mbalo needs to go. This is the main interior minister that almost 1 year on into the office, he hasn't organized a single press conference. And you're in charge of our security in a very diabolical situation. When we just came out of this, we need a strong interior minister who will be engaging the population. Let President Barrow dismiss Mbalo. You do it. If you don't do it, you're doing it on your own peril. Look, when it comes to the country, this is why Africa is backwards. You shouldn't look who is my friend, who is my relative. The country is bigger than that. Put the right people in the right places, Mr. President. You've surrounded yourself with the enablers of Yahya Jammeh. We've told you. People in the diaspora have warned you, Mr. President. We have said time and time again. And some people will think we are not happy or because of that and that. Look, Mr. President, you better act now and you better address the Gambian nation tomorrow. This is not excusable. The interior minister needs to go. This falls under his purview. What were those live ammunitions being used for? What happened to the rubber bullets? What happened to tear gas? You tell me that you cannot use tear gas to control a crowd. I don't care what they did. Look, let me say, I'm not validating vandalism. I don't believe in it. I don't subscribe. I have always said that we should have democracy with responsibility, Mr. President. But again, Mr. Mbalo, the interior minister, when Fatou Camara rang you, you said you're going to investigate. We want you to tender your resignation. We want you to tender your resignation now. Tomorrow, tender your resignation. It's not enough to say you're going to investigate this. You must tender your resignation. What's wrong with us Africans? Allah has given us what He should give us. He has blessed us with natural resources. We need to change our attitudes. We fought for this change. Not for you guys to go and do whatever you like in that country. Yes, we've done well to bring this change. We did well in terms of changing the mindset of the Gambian people. The Gambian people back home actually voted. Yes, you voted. We could have voted, but we were disenfranchised by Yahya Jammeh. Next election, when we were enfranchised by this new administration, we will cast our votes and we have equal rights to vote in who becomes our leader. We put our resources, our time and effort for that the Gambia can have a better society. Today, Yahya Jammeh would be laughing at us. Today, we are trying to say that Yahya Jammeh should go and face justice. What happened now? President Adama Barrow is sitting down there. By today, the president should have addressed the Gambian people. Has he done it? Why not? The interior minister hasn't addressed the nation. All what you wait for Fatou Camara to call you, you wait for the journalist to call you and you say that we're having a security council meeting. And I'm going to address the vice president of the Gambia, Madam Fatoumata Tambajang. Madam Fatoumata Tambajang, you were very frequent on the online radios here during the struggle. You condemn the killings of Yahya Jammeh. Now you are the number 2 in this government. And these things are happening. Why is the president not addressing the Gambian nation? Why up to this minute the president has not addressed the Gambian nation, Madam Tambajang? What is happening? We are getting frustrated. And I'm going to repeat, I'm going to be on record. I am a member of the United Democratic Party and I'm going to support the UDP. But I would withdraw my support for this government unless there is a full-scale inquiry into the deaths of these people and the perpetrators brought to book. And we have to see it happen. This trigger-happy PI officers should be taught a lesson. If that doesn't happen, I will formally withdraw my support for this government and I want complete change in terms of the leader. We will start demanding President Adama Barrow to resign. Yes, we will start demanding it because we are citizens. We are citizens. Let the full force of the law take its place in our country. And I'm going to repeat here. The demonstration that happened in the United Kingdom was much more devastating. And if it is about weapons, the British police have more dangerous weaponry, better weaponry than you, the PIU officer. No single life was lost in the United Kingdom. They used tear gas. They used water cannons. What is wrong with our PIU officers not using water cannons or rubber bullets? And I again ask this question. The Inspector General of Police, who authorized these people to go with live ammunition? You said there was a press release from the police saying that they never authorized the use of fire ammunition. That is not the issue. The issue here is, how come they carried live ammunition with them? That is the critical question. If they had gone with rubber bullets, would they have maybe probably killed somebody? The chances would be very small. President Adama Barrow, if this matter is brought under the carpet, we in the diaspora will launch a massive campaign for this government to resign. And we will talk to the citizens at home. This matter cannot be left like that. The Gambia is bigger than everybody. This is not about political partisanship. This is about doing the right thing for our country. This is becoming ridiculous. Look, and I'm going to come to Pamudu Boja. Pamudu Boja malhandled, beaten, for doing what a responsible journalist should do. He heard of the incident, he ran there to cover, he was tortured, and the man said he's a heart patient. Look at him, with blood all over his body. He was arrested. What is going on in our country? What the heck is going on in Gambia? Are we cursed? When are we going to get a better leadership? Because we didn't get good leadership with the PPP government. Yahya Jammeh was the worst of all of them. And now we are getting a president that is too lackadaisical. President Adama Barrow is becoming too lackadaisical in his approach. We have to say it as it is, Gambia. This is not about sugarcoating words. I know some people may not be happy with the words I'm saying. Look, I'm an independent-minded Gambian. I belong to a political party, but I'm very independent-minded. Nobody dictates me. Nobody tells me what I would say. I am going to be very respectful, but I'm going to speak truth to power. All right? UDP supporters. Every UDP supporter can choose what you do. Because I'm a Democrat. I respect everybody's words. I respect everybody's take on something. All right? But it's time we start speaking truth to power in our country. The Interior Minister needs to go. Because to me, he is not competent. My party was doing a better job. And you know what? You can tell me that I'm advocating for my party. I had lackluster relationship with my party. I used to criticize my party. But let's take the truth. All right? This Mbalo, I don't know his background. I don't know. How can you be an interior minister? For more than 1 year, you haven't organized a single press conference. How sad is that? And an incident like this happened. By today, we expect Mbalo to address. Look, the last time there was an incident in Kalilai, my party flew from Abidjan. He went to GRTS and addressed the Gambian nation. Now this minister, two lives lost, lot of arrests, and we are seeing Ami Bojo and Sissoho flooding our timelines with updates, the number of civilians arrested and fined. Why is the minister not gone to GRTS? Has he? Tell me if he has gone. Probably he's gone now. But up to the time, I haven't seen him gone to GRTS. My father went to GRTS, addressed the Gambian nation. He cut short his travel. President Adama Barrow, you removed my father for unknown reason. Up to this minute, we don't know. You put your own blood, your own family member as the interior minister, and Gambians kept quiet about it, even though some of us condemn it. Because I think it's ethically wrong to appoint your relative as the interior minister. I'm going to say that again. That's wrong. That's where the wrong started, Mr. President. You appointed your family member as the interior minister when you removed my father and you didn't tell us the reason. Now your own relative is not doing well. He is not performing. He's way underperforming. Can you please sack him if he doesn't want to resign? Or you don't want to sack him because he's your relative? Mbalo needs to go. What is he there for? He is not competent. Because he cannot even address the nation. He hasn't organized a single press conference. There's a lot of wrong things happened since he became interior minister. We had the incident in Brikama. We had the incident up country. How many things happened under his nose? You're telling me that he's competent? He is not competent. He needs to go. Let us campaign for Interior Minister Mbalo to be removed. Let's say it as it is. He needs to go. And the IGP, who is even a good friend of mine. Look, Mr. Kinte, you need to really look into that security force, the PIU. There are a lot of people who are still loyal to Yahya Jammeh in the PIU. And they were angry with Pamodu because, you know, Pamodu, all these programs, Pamodu was very much involved in the Faraba incident. They are mad at him. I'm sure they are even mad at Fatou Camara. These people don't know anything, only what they want to be trigger happy. They are not fit to become security forces in a democracy. For them, they think heavy-handedness. But the buck stops at the president. That's at President Barrow. You either have to act, or the Gambians will start for your demanding your resignation. Look, you have been voted in the president, as president. Doesn't mean that we will allow you to complete your term. This is grossly irresponsible. This is unnecessary. We didn't vote, we didn't fight for this kind of change in our country. And the interior minister needs to go. I'm going to repeat that again. Interior Minister Mbalo needs to go. Let's demand for his resignation. The IG needs to be changed. Because they are not going to resign. These people don't resign. Africans don't resign. Mbalo, when questioned by Fatou Camara, he said, we are going to make sure that we fully investigate. We don't want to hear that, Interior Minister. Please tender your resignation. You are grossly incompetent. I'm going to say that here. The Interior Minister is grossly incompetent. Pamodu Bojan, thank you for watching. And I'm happy that you are safe, my brother. What happened to you is unreal. And I'm very proud of the Gambian people. I'm very proud. Oh, thank you. I wish you speedy recovery, brother. But I heard your interview. And I'm very happy that you say you're going to sue the Inspector General of the police. Please go ahead and sue them. Let justice take its course. This nonsense got to stop in our country. What are these people taking us for? What is President Adama Barrow's government taking us for? Look, you are going to lose the goodwill from the international community. You know what President Adama Barrow doesn't understand? Today, all over Twitter, all over Facebook, a journalist of Pamodu Bojan's caliber malhandled, beaten. And he is a heart patient. This is all over Facebook. The Brussels donors are going to look at this. This pledge that you think your government have can be withheld. It can be withheld. If you are making a mistake, that the international community is going to support you. The OIC is having a meeting there in 2019. You think you're going to take the lives of Gambians for granted? You are making the biggest mistake. Within the twinkle of an eye, they can press the red button on this donor funding, and then the well will get dry. You will be blacklisted, just like Yahya Jammeh was blacklisted. You better start acting now, Mr. President. Get rid of the bad elements of that government. There are a lot of Yahya Jammeh. Look, up to this minute, the protocol officer, Cisse, should not be around the president. With no disrespect. There are a lot of people in the office of the president that shouldn't be there. Your Secretary General needs to go. I have said it. To me, Habib Drame hasn't done anything that has convinced to me that he is what to be a Secretary General. He hasn't brought any change in that system. Habib Drame needs to go. Mbalo needs to go. There are a lot of people. Let's go. Look, there are only few good ministers in that government. And you can call me biased. The likes of Ousainou Darboe stands tall in that cabinet. But at a point, if this nonsense continues, don't be surprised if Ousainou Darboe calls quit. Because he doesn't want to affect his credibility with this government. And he shouldn't. He shouldn't affect his credibility with this government. He's a decent man. Alright? Because a government is a collective responsibility. The longer he stays there, the longer they're going to obtain dirt on him as well. This president needs to get his act together. What is happening in our country is incredibly wrong. And again, I'm going to repeat, the National Assembly, we're going to hold you to account for the deaths of these people. Make sure that you summon the IG, the Interior Minister, to the National Assembly tomorrow. Give them a deadline. Don't give them an open-ended. Within 2 or 3 months, they want to see this inquiry completed. The perpetrators brought to book. They are going to be sentenced to life in jail. Let them be sentenced in life in jail. That is left to the judge to do. All right? But this matter cannot be left like that. If it is left like that, I, Sehu Sedili, I'm going to announce that here. I'm going to withdraw my support for this government. And I'm going to start campaigning for the resignation of President Barrow. If this matter is not fully investigated, this matter needs to be investigated. The perpetrators brought to book. I cannot support a government that's got blood on its hand. Because it's why I detach myself from APRC. Because Yahya Jammeh's got blood on his hand. On his filthy hands. This is completely nonsensical, Gambia. This is not about party. Forget about the UDP factor. Forget about the PPP factor. Alright? We're talking about OJ's press conference. Some of us, we are going to react to that OJ's press conference. But when this thing happened, that's something secondary. Okay? And all this is out of greed. Out of greed. Mr. President, listen to the people that mean well for you. Listen to Ousainou Darboe. He means well for you. Ousainou Darboe and you were part of the UDP executive. He's not going to mislead you. There are bad elements around you who are there for their selfish interest. They are only there for their selfish interest. And we hope or accept our condolences to the families of the victims. And you know what? It's not only, we know that lives of human beings cannot be compensated with monetary compensation. But the families of the victims need full compensation. Now we are talking of TRRC. TRRC to investigate the wrongdoings of Yahya Jammeh. And all of a sudden, we are now faced with to have another TRRC under the Barrow administration. Look, Yahya Jammeh started killings on November 11th. And he continued with it. Gambians didn't say much. We are not going to let that with his administration. And I'm happy. Look, the diaspora is united in this. The UDP family is united in this. Everybody's condemning it because this is beyond partisan politics. You make Yahya Jammeh to laugh at us. Even what happened to Faraba Bantang alone can make Yahya Jammeh sit down in Equatorial Guinea and laugh at us. Somebody that has been accused of being a Barrow supporter. A lot of people say Faraba Bantang is a UDP supporter because Faraba Bantang has been one of the biggest supporters of this government. He has always, he's the first Gambian journalist to interview President Adama Barrow. That time he wasn't president, he was a coalition flag bearer. It's Faraba Bantang, give him credit, he's the first person. That time I was on Freedom Radio. We didn't interview President Adama Barrow, the then coalition candidate at the time. I tried to reach out to him, but I couldn't get him. He was very busy. But Faraba Bantang granted him an interview. I wanted to interview him on the Civic Education Show, but then I got a message from Pamali Singulnyansi that they were busy with their campaigns. But Faraba Bantang interviewed him. The first Gambian journalist to interview. Today, Faraba Bantang packed his bags, went to Gambia, and he's contributing to the economic development of that country. He's contributing. Look, he is independent-minded. If he agrees with the government, he says it. When he sees wrong things, you guys you are mad at him because of the way he stood in solidarity with the people of Faraba. And now you say this revenge moment. Faraba Bantang, please go ahead and sue these people. We will go and rally behind you. And the victims of this family, Please, let's share the victims. Let's know the victims of these families. Let's campaign for justice to happen. This is completely nonsensical. For me, I completely lost words today. Because I said, is this really fiction or reality? I thought it's fiction. Am I watching a movie? Why? What's wrong with African governments? Why African governments are irresponsible? And sometimes this is why when people try to blame the Western world for our poverty, I tend to disagree. We are grossly irresponsible. The way we are irresponsible in human rights, that's the same way we are irresponsible in our economic management of our resources. You travel with a lot of per diems. Alright? And you will want to do things that are wrong. You want to cut corners. You don't want to do right things for a country. Appointing your family member as the interior minister was itself wrong, President Barrow. I'm going to say that here. I'm not going to shy away from saying that. That was wrong. Mbalo should have been appointed as an interior minister. Yes, you can arrest me if I go to Gambia. Alright, if you want. Alright, but I'm going to say this on record. That you are not supposed to appoint your family member because it's conflict of interest. Mr. President, it's conflict of interest. Somebody that you have personal, you've got blood relationship, is your interior minister. If that person does something wrong, would you be able to take punitive measures like the punitive measure that you took against my father? Up to this minute, we don't know what happened to my father. Up to this minute, we don't know why my father got fired. But you appointed your relative, who is grossly incompetent. Mbalo is grossly incompetent. I'm going to repeat that again a million times if I could. He's one of the most incompetent ministers of interior that Gambia ever have. Mai was doing a better job. Can you bring him back? Can you swallow your pride and bring him back, Mr. President? Swallow your pride and bring back my fatty. He would do a better job than this Mbalo. This Mbalo is clueless as far as the interior ministry is concerned. What are these ministers for? These ministers in Gambia, they think being a minister is to wear tie, ride in air-conditioned offices, go to your office, sit in an air-conditioned office, be on the telephone, be on the mobile phone 24/7. Is that when you think a minister? Minister, you have to be a hard thinker. You have to be somebody with initiative. That's why you are paid $50,000 a month. That's why you are given benefits, because you have to be an intricate thinker. It's not just going be on the phone. The Gambian civil service is grossly what's happening there. They spend all their times on the telephone, on their mobiles. And this is why I said they should put the use of mobile phones during working hours. Pamo the Bojan said that last time in one of his program. They don't listen. What has this Secretary General done since he became Secretary General? What initiatives has he done? They think it's just to travel, going to seminars, write speeches for the president. Is that what you think the job of a Secretary General is? It goes beyond that. We're talking of seeing semblance of corruption. We're seeing a return of the PPP government in Gambia. I'm going to say that here. This government is very similar to the PPP government. President Barrow has got a lot of similarities with President Jawara. In the approach, the only thing is President Jawara obviously is more, sophisticated in my view. And their generations are different. When President Jawara was there, social media wasn't developed. President Barrow will come under a lot of scrutiny by virtue of social media. Jawara got away with that because there was no social media. But they are very similar in approach. Alright? President Barrow, we hope you will address the Gambian nation tomorrow. We don't want to hear from that clueless interior minister because he's already demonstrated that he's incompetent to handle that ministry. I don't know what he's going to tell the National Assembly tomorrow. I don't know what he's going to tell. We don't want excuses. Yes, you didn't instruct them to use live ammunition. But what made them carry live bullets to the scene? That needs to be investigated. Heads have to roll. In the Western democracies, it is the leaders that take responsibility when things go wrong. You have seen how many Inspector General of Police in the United Kingdom resign? How many heads of departments resign? But when Yahya Jammeh's, some of Yahya Jammeh's closest aides sneaked through the airport, who were made guinea pigs? The Guinea officers were made guinea pigs. They sacrificed them. The top brass didn't resign. The top brass were not removed. It's time that change in a country. We expect the interior minister to resign, IG to go. We need a clean sweep of that cabinet. And President Barrow, if you underrate the magnitude, underestimate the magnitude of this crisis, the next minute we are going to start demanding for your resignation. We're going to start demanding for your resignation. And you know what that means? If the population start demanding for your resignation, you have to go. Because the population is bigger than you. The Gambian president, the Gambian people elected you. You didn't elect yourself in that country. Just like the Gambian people gave red card to Yahya Jammeh. Yahya Jammeh was more powerful. He had the state machinery. He had the money. But when the Gambians got united, he had to leave and go to exile in Equatorial Guinea. President Barrow, you've still got chance to rewrite history. It's not too late. You can still do damage control for yourself. But you have to act and act fast. Start the damage control now by addressing the Gambian nation tomorrow. Go on GRTS. Apologize to the Gambian people. And then instruct for a full-scale investigation into this affair. Get rid of an interior minister. I'm going to repeat that again. As long as he stays there, you're going to keep having problems. He's not competent to be an interior minister. He needs to go. Once you've done those changes, you will start winning the confidence of the Gambian people, and we will start giving you the benefit of the doubt. But if you maintain this interior minister there, and you don't take action on this issue, I can put it here on record that the Gambians will start demanding for your resignation. Some of us said, constitutionally, you should rule Gambia for 5 years. Yes, because that's what the Gambian constitution said. Even though you had a gentleman agreement for 3 years. That's between you and the coalition partners. But as far as we Gambians are concerned, we elected you for a full 5-year mandate. And I still maintain that. But then, who says the citizens cannot stand demanding the resignation of a president? Why we don't want Yahya Jammeh to laugh at us, Mr. President? I bet he's laughing at us now. The APRC supporters are not laughing with us. They are laughing at us now. All right? We know the difference. They are not laughing with us. They are laughing at us. They say, you are the people who are campaigning for Barrow. President Barrow. I know some of us, there are people who will not be happy with some of our rhetoric on Facebook. Like I said, I say who said it, I am an independent-minded Gambian. Nobody thinks for me. I think for myself, because it's an insult if you cannot think for yourself. All right? Somebody, an adult, should be able to think for himself or herself. Nobody thinks for me. My party's support is different. The party is a member of this coalition government. All right? That is not going to change. Nothing is going to change on that. All right? But I have lost, I'm beginning to lose patience with this government, particularly on irresponsible behaviors of arbitrary arrest and also torturing people. If Pamodu Bojang can be tortured in Gambia, none of us will be free when we go to Gambia. Who will be free? If Pamodu Bojang can be malhandled, which Gambian can be free now? Somebody who is one of the biggest supporters of this government and who has devoted his time and resources. He is doing well. So if he can be malhandled by these idiotic PIU officers, who some of them are completely clueless. So if he can be malhandled, who is safe in that country? Who is safe? Tell me, President Barrow. Probably you are the first family is safe because you have got the economic forces giving you security. But the rest of the population are not safe. Because I don't trust these people are even fit to be a member of our security forces. And the funny thing is, the saddest thing is, these people will never point the gun at themselves. These PIU officers. They will never point gun at themselves, but they will point it at innocent citizens. Shame on them. We need to purge that security apparatus. There are people who are still loyal to Yahya Jammeh there. They are trying to sabotage this government. You need to set example. But the example that you have to set is to get rid of Mbalo. People might think that Sehu has got something against Mbalo. I don't know Mbalo. Mbalo long, B Malon Sama. How moko? Musumoko Jisa. I have nothing personal. I'm just judging Mbalo by his records. How can somebody be appointed interior minister? 1 year, you haven't done a single press conference. My party has done press conference. How many press conferences did my party organize? Me, I like to judge people on their records. My party organized a lot of press conferences. This Mbalo is a mumu. He doesn't talk. All right? He doesn't talk. He's just traveling, going to seminars. He doesn't address the nation. So is he fit to be our interior minister? No, he's not fit to be interior. But I blame the president for putting him there. All right? I don't know what was your reason for putting him there. Only you and Allah knows. Is it because he's a family member? So I am going to... The reason why I came Facebook Live today, if there's any major incident in Gambia, we will continue talking. Because we've been talking. We use our voices to go against Yahya Jammeh. That's not going to change. We will continue to speak up against any irresponsible behavior from anybody. All right? The interior minister is a mumu. He doesn't talk. What I don't understand with us Africans, when an African cannot do something, he or she will force himself to do it. Ndeysaan. Dañoo forcer suñ boppa pour def loo xam ne mënuñ ko def. If you cannot do something, man sehu tay. If you want to appoint me as a religious, somebody to be doing religious talks, wallahi, I will tell you that this is not my area. If you ask me to come and talk about security, I will be honest enough to say, no, I'm not competent in this. But African guy just, they fa force bopam, aka fa force ate kumen nola, ate fuma yalonko, this is not something that I can do. African they fa force bopam. That's why Africa is backward. Because we put square pegs in the round holes. Low munut will force sa bopa. If President Adama Barrow appoints you as interior minister, be honest and say this is not the place that I should be. Hey, man say who said it. There are certain jobs, if they offered me, I will say I cannot do this. I will be honest to you that this is not my area. Let's leave people to do their job. I'm not a journalist. I'm just a media commentator. But I'm not a journalist. So if you want to put me in the field of journalism, I will say, no, I'm not a journalist. Alright? But Gambian woman phenomenon no, aka fam force walla. Nankondoro moli and kela. Whether I'm good at it or not, you want to force yourself to do it. That's what the interior minister is doing. You're not a competent interior minister, but you just want to be there. Low munut bull forces a baba. That's why Africa is backward. Everybody wants to be. Today, man, I don't have football skills. If I want to force myself to be a footballer, I'll become a laughing stock to the wall. But Gambian mo mel nono, African mo mel nono. Ñun suñ affaire dafa doy yaram. Dafa daw yaram. Sorry. Ku nekk bëgg a def lii. Ku nekk bëgg a def lii. Yàlla moo dee maye talent. Yàlla moo dee maye dara. Waaye ñun suñ affaire looloo tax. This is why Africa is the richest continent in terms of resources. But we are the poorest continent on earth. Wax naa leen ne Africa suñu share of world trade luñ de export aduna bi is about 2%. 2%. Africa as a whole. Ngalaj, South Africa, Morocco, all these big countries, Nigeria. Our share of world trade is about 2%. 2%. 98% bi yep Europe, America, Asia ñoko amé. How pathetic are we? Because we are poor managers. We have been proven to be poor managers. I'm going to say that here. We cannot manage our own countries. We cannot manage our own resources. And we blame the Western world. This is sad. You put square pegs in a round hole. People like Mbalo, who are not competent. You remove my Fati, who was very competent. At least he was talking to the nation. My Fati may not have studied security, but my Fati has got international exposure. He used to address the Gambian nation. Okay? So this is the problem. Let's be serious. Let's be serious as a continent. The poverty index in Africa is very high. Because of what? We got people. And when I went to Gambia, I said, when President Adama Barrow appoints these people, what change does it bring? But President Adama Barrow is the one who should do one-to-one this with these ministers, do one-to-one with the secretary generals, monitor their performance, to say, since I appointed you, what have you done? All right? So this is pathetic. So tomorrow we will keenly monitor. We understand the National Assembly will invite the Interior Minister, the IGP, to the National Assembly to demand answers. We're going to watch that. And I'm sure somebody like Fatih Kamara will cover that live. Or iAfrica TV will come. iAfrica is also doing a good job, even though sometimes I disagree with them. iAfrica. Alright? The media generally, the fourth estate, they are doing a good job in Gambia. I must give them praise. The IPAMU, the Bojans member caring, Fatu Network, Fatu. We saw OJ Jallow defending himself all over the place. For me, I'm not going to comment on OJ Jallow because I didn't listen to the full scale of OJ's interview because the internet connection was bad. Some of the words actually broke away and I heard that But look, I'm going to take my time and probably listen to his press conference. So, but like I said, we have more important issue to talk about today than OJ Jallow's interview. But there are a lot of things happening in that country. We already had last week the investigative report passed to the Attorney General and the Minister of Justice for 7 months. For 7 good months. Without Kerfatu, would we have known that? And why is OJ Jallow mad for Kerfatu to go? Look, OJ Jallow, Kerfatu is doing their job. If you think you are clean, go ahead. You have right to seek redress in the courts. I have no problem with that. But you cannot try to intimidate the press and say they should not do this, they should not do that, they should not do that. All right? Okay? This is not a UDP government. Stop propagating lies. This is not a UDP government. Yes, UDP has got the lion's share of the ministerial positions, I must admit. But the mistakes are not happen at the portfolios of those ministers. The Interior Minister is not from the UDP, is he? The Interior Minister is not from the UDP. When the Finance Minister made mistake, we addressed it. And that shows the sincerity of some of us. I said here, the procedural dispensation that the Finance Minister, Amadou Sane, tried to do, alienating Diajawa's Information Minister, some of us condemn that. Alright? Because we're here for Gambia. The UDP is here for Gambia. We don't look at the people who are condemning this act today. Most of them are UDP supporters. Go on timelines. I've seen a lot of status updates from UDP supporters condemning what's happening in Uganda. And that shows the sincerity of the UDP supporters. Thumbs up to all of you. I've seen most of you flooded your timelines with that. This nonsense got to stop. Alright? I have nothing against OJ Jallow. I'm going to listen to OJ's press conference again. I didn't listen to it and I'm going to give my reaction to it. Alright? But the fact that OJ Jallow has been implicated in an internal government inquiry, which is passed to the Justice Ministry by the President's office, still lays a lot of eyebrows over the head of the Agricultural Minister. He can defend himself. He can say what he wants. We're waiting for the review of the Justice Minister. And those people who are jumping into conclusion, saying that OJ is innocent, you better hold on to your horses yet. Let's wait for the review from the Justice Ministry to come clean. And I'm not happy that OJ had to do that press conference today. I said it on my timeline. For me, I don't hide my feelings. There's great respect between me and OJ Jallow. When I was in the Gambia at that press conference at Faraba Beach Hotel, I sat next to OJ Jallow and the IEC Commissioner. I have a respectful relationship between OJ Jallow, but when it comes to the country, it's the country first. All right? OJ involvement in that sort of, for him to be implicated by the investigators, cannot just be brought under the carpet. So we wait for the Justice Minister to give his report. Don't be surprised. I'm going to make a big call here if the Justice Ministry exonerates OJ Jallow. But look at the chronology. There was no press conference from OJ Jallow. The government did not say anything until they, Kerfatu, let the cats out of the bag. And those of us in the diaspora made noise. Then OJ Jallow had to do a quick press conference. And that is unethical. I said here, OJ Jallow's views could influence the Justice Ministry. Even if the Justice Ministry being honest in their review, somebody could say their views been influenced by OJ Jallow. Alright? Say who you have seen in, I don't know, somebody saying something. you're not been with. Okay, no, it's not about because Ojo Jallow is not in UDP. Don't get me wrong. I will treat Ojo Jallow with equal treatment. But I criticize President Adama Barrow. President Adama Barrow is from UDP, right? And I criticize President Adama Barrow because why would he let that look? The double standards in this government is something that is apparent. The managing director of Gantel, Suso, suspended while the investigations are on. So how come Ojo Jallow is still minister when the president passed that review to the Justice Ministry that reported it? How come Ojo Jallow is not suspended? So because I don't care the hierarchy of the portfolio. Everybody should be treated equally. So the managing director of Gamtel sent on leave, suspension, because the investigations are on. But then President Faraba Bantang sat on a report. Let the Justice Minister sat on a report on Ojo Jallow. 7 months. That's highly suspicious. That in itself, 7 months. Is it a 20,000 pages document? It's just something I don't really know what's going on. Sometimes I don't really know what's going on. But thank you to the people of diaspora. And thank you to our formidable journalists who are doing a fantastic job for us. Fatu Kamara, I'm really proud of you today because Fatu Kamara, actually, most of this hot news happenings, she will be there on the spot. Interview with Pamudi Bojan, Fatu Kamara, thank you so much. I now believe that without the element of the diaspora injection in Gambia, with no disrespect to people on the ground, but Gambia would go astray. I'm not saying that the people on the ground are not material, but if you look at most of the big things happening in our country, in terms of media coverage, in terms of the advocacy, it's coming from people who have connection with the diaspora. Fatu Kamara came from the diaspora, Pamudi Bojan came from the diaspora, and they're both doing a fantastic job. Fatu Ture was also in the diaspora. She's doing a Kerafar today, doing a good job. I'm not saying that GRTS is not doing a good job, but in terms of scrutiny, these people are second to none. All right, so I'm going to recap. I know it's late for most of us in Europe, and then tomorrow the UDP Generation Talk Show should be back up and running. I know a lot of people ask questions when we are coming back. We took a Ramadan break, but we'll be back in our regular programs on the UDP Generation Talk Show. Hopefully tomorrow we'll kick the ball rolling, and then we will be asking critical questions to this government. And look, the clock is ticking, and I'm going to conclude by saying, President Adama Barrow, you can still do damage control. The damage control can be done, but the ball is in your court. If you act right in the next couple of weeks or in the next week, come out and address the Gambian nation tomorrow. Apologize to the Gambian people, and then institute a swift investigation into the deaths of these two people and the people who have been malhandled, including Pamudi Bojan with other civilians. Then do a cabinet reshuffle. For me, as long as you keep that Mumu interior minister there, you are not doing anything right. He needs to go. Give him another position in the government that you think he can do, but he's not capable to be interior minister. And I'm going to say that a million times if I could. He is not capable to be interior minister. I know he will be mad at me today. If he watches this media, he will hate me. I don't give a toss. I'm speaking the truth. I don't even know the guy. I understand he came from Brikama. In fact, somebody told me he's related to the first lady. I don't know the second lady. I don't know who he's related, whether he's related to President Barrow himself or. But let the president address the nation. You see, Ahmed Bari, the reason why I said he should address the nation tomorrow, because I know today is pretty late for him to address the nation. He would have done it. I understand they were having it. I'm getting disappointed with the vice president. Because a lot of Gambians look hope to it. This is the number 2. We don't deserve this. Look, why are you subjugating Gambians to this mental torture? We just came out of dictatorship. Now we want to breathe. We cannot breathe properly. Now we are getting this hypertension. People being killed. Problems. There was a demonstration of Serikona Market. Take control of the security apparatus. You are making the supporters of this government, you are putting them in a very precarious situation. Because a lot of people actually thought we are going to witness something more robust changes. It's not happening. The ball is in President Adama Barrow's court, not ours. We have done our bit. And some people who think that some of us are looking for opportunities, some of you, you don't know some of us. For me, I don't care who you are. A human being's destiny is in God's hands. It's not in the hands of a human being. What you're going to be, what you're going to get, what is going to happen to you is in the hands of the Almighty Allah. It's not in President Adama Barrow's hands. It's not in anybody's hands. But speak the truth when it comes. Because what is happening in our country today is pathetic. Senegal is bigger than us. Why are these crazy things not happening in Senegal? And Kendo resign nak. Kendo want to know, I don't want this. They will say, I'm going to investigate this. You all going to say that you're going to investigate this. But we want the National Assembly, the legislature, to be tough on these people. Because at the end of the day, the Gambian people elected you into this office for you to act right. If you don't act right, we will make sure you act right. And President Adama Barrow, the clock is ticking fast. You are devaluing your luck with Gambian people. You are. Your own take, Yaya Jammeh did it. He ran out of luck. You still have a chance to mend things. But you have to do swift reforms. Swift changes. Any other thing is not acceptable by us. That interior minister needs to go. If you don't want to bring my party back because of ego, appoint somebody else that can handle the security of our nation with responsibility. Alright? Not this idiotic PIU officers, some of them, not all of them. I know there are some of these people who are very responsible. I'm not going to generalize it, but some of these PIU officers are just idiots. They act in idiotic ways. They think the best way to control security is using bullets. Alright? Didn't you watch the ceremony, the royal family meeting? When Prince Harry and his wife were driven across the streets of London, you know that there was a lot of security surveillance. Did you see them with any guns? Did you see them? What's wrong with us Africans? Everything dole. Sembo, dolgo le sambandi. Ngole foko. Hadamadingo. Ni man ko men no kanay fam forcé. Wallahi. And nga ñol face à role black President Adama Barrow. Yenyi Secretary General, the Secretary General that you appointed. Wallahi. The person that I had was going to be the Secretary General when I was in Gambia was the person that should have been appointed Secretary General. I'm not going to mention the person's name here. But some people interfered and made you appoint Habib Drame. Your initial choice, the one you wanted to appoint as Secretary General, should have been the Secretary General of Gambia. But some people interfered for their own selfish interest because they want to control the civil service. They want to control the parastatals. They convince you to give to Habib Drame. Habib Drame is not a Secretary General material. I'm going to say that here. He is not a Secretary General. What changes has he brought to the civil service? And keep asking my question. He replaced Dauda Fadera. What Dauda was doing, that's what he was doing. What has he done? Nothing. Secretary General should be smart thinkers. Secretary General should have come up with initiatives. Bring changes in the civil service. Make the civil service more responsive to the needs of the Gambian people. But nothing. Nothing. Gambia would replace ministers, you will not see anything. Another person will be changed, you don't see anything. What's all these changes for? I'm not hating anybody. We love our country. You see, let me address Lamin Tamba. Sometimes you guys need to be addressed. Even though people say we should not validate your comments. Lamin Tamba, what we the UDP supporters are doing today, by disagreeing with this government, if you had done that with Yaya Jammeh, many lives could have been saved. But some of you don't love the country. You only support a murderer. Today you think somebody like myself, or Pamodu Bojan, or somebody like Ndai Idi, could not have just blindly supported this government. No, we are responsible citizens. All right? But you, Lamin Tamba, the person that should, I always tell you, you lack moral authority to criticize this government. Because you should have done what we are doing today. We disagree with this government when they go out of the radar. We don't check whether Adama Barrow came from UDP. We don't check whether Usainu Dabo is in the government, because we love our country. But you, Lamin Tamba, for 22 years, you didn't openly criticize Yahya Jammeh. Show me one status update, Lamin Tamba. Can you bring that and challenge, which I challenge you? Bring one status update that you condemn Yahya Jammeh publicly on social media. I challenge you now. Yes, you said you speak up against Yahya Jammeh. Can you bring a status update? Go back into history. Go back into history. Share that status update where you condemn Yahya Jammeh's killings. Like today we are condemning these killings in Faraba. Alright? So we are condemning it. Did you write any status update? Look at the UDP supporters today on social media, and they condemned the arrest of Pamodu Boja. They condemned the killings on their timelines because the UDP supporters love our country. We are not loyal to the individual. We are loyal to our nation. So you have nothing to say. You should be the last person to address Gambian people. You and the APRC supporters should go mute, just like your leader is keeping quiet in Equatorial Guinea. And let the decent citizens talk. Alright? Fatah Kamara is condemning the government, not doing her job. Alright? We are. Alright? You see Max Jones. He is one of the biggest supporters of President Adama Barrow. But he condemns President Adama Barrow where he goes wrong. Because he loves his country. He is doing a good thing. And there are so many people. People like Kasa Sise Mandemori. He is a supporter of this government. But she will write on something that she disagrees. And the list goes on. People like Fatima Kante, there are a lot of people. There are a lot of good people. I have seen a lot of people's timelines. If I want to run through everybody's timelines, I'm going to mistake. But I'm very proud of these people. Because we love our country. This is beyond UDP. Alright? And I'm going to tell you one thing. Come 2021, a UDP government will not have semblance of Adama Barrow's government. I can assure you that. A UDP government will not behave like the way this government is behaving. A UDP-led government will not have any semblance with this government. Because President Barrow has chosen to listen to the wrong people. Alright? President Adama Barrow has chosen to listen to the wrong people. I bet if President Adama Barrow was put to advise the ears of the leader of the United Democratic Party on the CS, he's not going to make all these mistakes. But he's surrounded himself with some bad elements. People who are misguiding him. People who are putting him in the wrong path. That's why these mistakes are happening. And it started when he sacked my party. That's all the blunder started there. If my party wronged, did something, come and tell Gambians that this is what he did. Up to this minute, we don't know. You replace him with a mumu interior minister. The interior minister who doesn't talk. And who is not capable. We're definitely losing our patience with this government. Look, these are my views. And that's why I'm saying it on my timeline. Alright? I'm responsible for my words. Because I'm really agitated in what is happening in our country. Look, there are no excuses here. Some people are saying that we don't know what. Look, we heard what happened. The government has said something at least. Alright? But African governments, by and large, are very responsible. I'm going to repeat, it's not only on security, but they are very, very irresponsible in management of our resources. Alright? People don't care. People just want to sit in air-conditioned offices. And the ordinary mass in the street is suffering. Let's stop the selfishness. Let's stop the greed, Africa. Aren't we ashamed of our citizens, the lack of job opportunities in our country? What is happening in our country is wrong. And that's why, if you are taking us for granted in the diaspora, saying, diaspora, if you are not doing the right thing, we'll continue talking. Mbe diamo la de. Ntende la de. Because ñun diamo wala Yaya Jammeh bondi. Mbe diamo la de. If you guys are fed up with our voices, can you do something right and you can zip us up? If you feel all the loopholes, we will not do our Facebook lives. We will not go on our programs talking about you. But you cannot be killing our people, and you have these irresponsible PIU officers, these idiotic PIU officers who are completely clueless, threatening Pamudu Bojan, saying, if this was Jammeh's time, we would have killed all of you. Pamudu Bojan, if you get those people on camera, please, can all of those people be sacked from our security forces? They should be. If any PIU officers utter those words, they should not be in uniform by now. And I'm sure. But now, Pamudu Bojan said they even stole his recorder. They are not only killers, but they are thieves as well. A security officer supposed to protect the citizens. You are being a thief. So how can you look after the security of the nation? Same on the security forces. But I'm going to conclude now. I have shared my bit. Tomorrow we'll be on the UDP Generation Talk, so we're going to expand on these things in detail. All right? We're going to have an exclusive coverage of this development in our country on the UDP Made-in platform, which is the UDP Generation Talk Show. We will diagnose into the issues. We will talk about issues that matter to our country. But President Adama Barrow, we expect you to address the Gambian nation. Billahi, President Adama Barrow, if you think you can just go quiet, not addressing the Gambian nation, you are digging your own grave, Mr. President. The more you keep quiet, the more Gambian people will lose confidence in you. And the more the Gambian people lose confidence in you, the more people are going to demand for your resignation. And you cannot survive it. If people start demanding for your resignation, you will have to go. You will have to go. The people are more, the power belongs to the people. Address the Gambian nation tomorrow. Fire that minister. And you know, some people are going to say, who the hell are you people in the diaspora to tell President Adama Barrow to do? How many Gambians will tell the problem? We are citizens. Nobody can dictate President Adama Barrow, but we have right to recommend to him. People don't understand the difference between recommendation. Who can dictate President Adama Barrow today? President Adama Barrow is the most powerful man in that country, so stop using wrong words, saying that you are dictating President Adama Barrow. We cannot dictate to him. He is the most powerful man in the country. He has control of the security. He's control of the security apparatus. But we have right to recommend to him, fire your interior minister. I'm not dictating to him. I'm saying, if you want this government to get out of the black hole this government is in at the moment, you need to get rid of that Mumu interior minister. He needs to go. Bring somebody who can address the security. Look, there cannot be economic development of any nation without guaranteed security. Security is paramount. You don't have to be a security officer to know that. Peace and stability of a nation is sacrosanct for economic development to take its place. We cannot progress as a nation if we are living in a state of fear. All right? Put the most competent interior minister there, and the Gambians can start breathing again. Unless you do that, you're digging your own grave. And there will be a dent on your legacy. Yaya Jammeh has already got a dent on his legacy. All right? All right? There's a dent on Yaya Jammeh's legacy. A big dent on his legacy. President Adama Barrow, you still have chance to do damage control. I'm going to repeat that again. It's not over yet with you. But you are getting closer and closer towards putting that dent on your legacy. It's already started happening with blood on your hands. Again, your administration, not you personally, but there's a blood on the hands of your administration. You cannot remove that from the history. The killings that happened today is blood on the hands of this administration. We will become hypocrites. One of the most abusive words of this diaspora. I'm going to use that word again. I don't like to use it, but we would become hypocrites if we refuse to condemn this administration for the same things that we condemn the Yaya Jammeh administration for. Then we will become hypocritical. And I'm not going to be part of those hypocritical behaviors. All right? That's why some of us gave the warning shots about the President Adama Barrow youth movement. You're putting a dangerous terrain. All those things need to be scrapped. It's completely nonsensical. The foundations, we don't need them. President Adama Barrow, a word for the wise is enough. We hope tomorrow you will address the Gambian nation and you do a cabinet reshuffle. Do a cabinet reshuffle. Or like if you don't do cabinet reshuffle, Mr. President, you will come out and say, Shehu Sedile said this on his Facebook Live. Today what? 18th of June, 2018. Mark it on your diary. If you don't do any... Look, Gambia no na problem oti. Nka nyola nyaka no jibe. Nka nyola nyaka no jibe. Ha, mala fika carry offen. Nko, ni momenta doku wala bondi. Gene ko. Munut ligayam. Gene ko. You have 2 million people to choose from. Alright? Somebody just wrote something here. Let me read that. I think there's an update coming. Let me just read that from... A directive has been given to suspend mining activities until further notice. This is from the press list of the President's office. So it has taken loss of life to do this. Oh, yes. That directive is not enough. we need better. President Alvaro, we need you to fire that Mumu minister. Can we all demand for that minister to be fired on our timelines? Gambians in the diaspora. Can we demand for that minister to be fired? He is incompetent. He doesn't talk to us. For President Barrow, let's give him benefit of the doubt. All right? For some time. Because at least he is doing press conferences. I want to be fair with him. He has spoken to the press not long ago, and he spoke to iAfrica. He does. He has done few press conferences. Mbalo hasn't organized a single press conference since he got appointed as a minister. I haven't seen anything. And you know what other people are saying? But he's not the only minister. He is commanding a very important ministry. He needs to be talking to people in terms of security apparatus. He needs to. All right? He needs to. So he has to. His predecessor, my party, who got removed for whatever reason, we don't know up to this minute, organized few press conferences. So Pamodu Bojang, our solidarity is with you, my brother. We wish you speedy recovery. You're at the hospital right now. Stand on your ground. I know that this is not going to intimidate you. But stand on your ground. The good citizens of Gambia are with you. But watch your back, my brother. You will not be loved by these irresponsible people in that country. They will try to do anything to derail you. Just watch your back. Be conscious of your environment, your surrounding, and the same advice I would give to Fatou Kamara. Be conscious of your surroundings. Anybody who is involved in intricate journalistic work in Gambia, Fatou Toure, all of you need to watch your backs. Because for me, I'm not comfortable with these PIU officers. I'm not comfortable with this, the security officers. They are capable of doing anything. They have already demonstrated to us that they can do anything. Even those of us in the diaspora right now, if anybody is going on holiday, watch your back. I'm not scaring anybody. Those of us who are vocal, watch your back. Because these people they are capable of doing anything. They're not going to intimidate us. All right? Wallahi, it took us 22 years to bring change in that country, but with any other government, it's not going to take us that longer. All right? The disappointment levels are going higher and higher, and it shouldn't happen. President Adama Barrow, you got the perfect opportunity to become one of the best presidents of Africa, but it seems you are blowing it away. All right? And I'm going to say here, maybe President Adama Barrow will not like this. And people who are close to President Adama Barrow, maybe you will not like this. If I were President Adama Barrow, you know what you would do? Finish your term. Go and retire. And then be remembered as the former president of Gambia. UN would give you a job. ECOWAS would give you a job. You go and retire. Get your presidential retirement. Get your presidential home. Retire peacefully. That's the advice I would give you. But maybe I'll not be liked for saying this. All right? But because the way you are going, you might fall under the same bandwagon as Yaya Jammeh. Seriously. Retire. If you finish your term, go and become former president of Gambia. You will get respect. You will become United Nations can give you an award. That's the best thing. But there are greedy people around you, pushing you into this President Adama Barrow youth movement, this nonsensical youth movement, misleading you, thinking that you got a chance. Look, at the end of the day, it is the Gambians that are going to vote who our next president would be. Just like we voted you in and removed Jammeh. And nobody can rig elections in Gambia again. Jammeh used to do it. It's not gonna happen. If anybody is fooling you, saying that somebody like Sidin Jai, and you know what? I listened to Sidin Jai's interview today. Sidin Jai, the way he comes across to me, he will be loyal to any president. If Ousainou Darboe becomes president tomorrow, he's going to switch sides and say, I'm loyal to Ousainou Darboe. That's the game the man is playing, and it's working for him. He's a smart fool. He said he was with Yaya Jammeh. Now he said today I'm Barrow. If Barrow is gone, he will go to the next person. So Atilafita, dafa bugo bota mburu every minute, which he has a right to do. He has a right to support anybody in a democratic culture. But that's the game Sidin Jai is playing. Sidin Jai, of all people who dine and wine with Yaya Jammeh, today he's saying he's 100% Barrow. If Ousainou Darboe becomes the next president of Gambia, the same Sidin Jai will say, no, I'm now with Barrow, I'm with Ousainou Darboe. If somebody else become president, this guy is going to change. But I'm very happy with the response. But our UDP party PRO, Almani Tal, he gave a fitting response. UDP welcomes everybody. UDP cannot say no to anybody who wants to go in UDP. Anybody who wants to go in UDP, you are free to welcome. Okay? Okay? So, this is what we would expect. But Sidin Jai, he's trying to play smart. And you know what? President Barrow is encouraging the likes of Sidin Jai, this APRC criminal gang people are flooding around President Adama Barrow. They are the ones that are going to lead his administration into astray. Because they led Yaya Jammeh astray and they want to lead Adama Barrow into astray. Adama Barrow should get a wake-up call. It's up to him. Look at Adama Barrow. Look at the diaspora right now. You used to have massive support in the diaspora. That support is fading away. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, what am I doing wrong? When I addressed President Adama Barrow when he came here, I said, you need to put the Anti-Corruption Commission. And he is listening. They said they are coming to come up with that. You must appoint the right person to lead the Anti-Corruption Commission. Don't let this clique of people who are misleading you. Because if you appoint the wrong person as the head of the Anti-Corruption Commission, it's like you go and take a shower and then put that on your body. Somebody like Baba Galajalo, a man of high integrity, the head of the TRRC, you have utmost respect for Baba Galajalo. His record is clean. He has a clean record, a very decent man. That's why when I saw a posting that he did, somebody allegedly accusing him of that, Baba Gale will never do something like that. Baba Gale will never call this government a Mandingo government. I know Baba Gale, a very level-headed person, very, very level-headed person. So he's not somebody that will fall under that bandwagon. Let's stop this nonsensical tribalism, tagging people, attacking people for this stupidity. But look at the people doing that. The caliber of people doing that. Let's detach ourselves from them. Alright? So I'm going to conclude my Facebook Live here. Be late as it was in the United Kingdom, I had to come and address this issue because my conscience will not allow me to slip over this. We hope justice will take its course, and we hope again this will be the last of this incident in our country, because we don't want to see lives lost in our country. And again, may the souls of the departed people rest in peace, and may the culprits be brought to justice, so that if they're going to be sentenced to life in jail, let them be sentenced to life in jail. Let them go and face the wrath of being in mile 2. The people who, these trigger-happy soldiers, let them be sentenced to jail. And let justice take its place. The people who tortured, who allegedly beat Pamoudou Bodian should all be arrested. But Pamoudou is somebody that he knows his rights. He's going to sue the government. And we're going to support him in the process. Let the government be sued. This is going to teach this government a lesson. Alright? This government has a perfect opportunity to make things better, and they blew it away. You got support from the international community. You got a lot of goodwill. President Adama Barrow, we've been advising you, people from the diaspora, and then they keep saying that yen nyaka diaspora Allah diamo la shiata. Nkawol moyle Allah diamo la shiata. Mola diamo man shiajande. Alright? Nga tonya lefo. Tonya de ni ba fole buka mo nyako no jibe. Alright? na mol manyana fala ali ya jame kana mol fanya ngon tol Gambian ol fo yen dale pour na man sekundal kam fabang. If you come to the West, they want to protect their citizens. But this irresponsible government in Africa takes pleasure in killing their citizens. What sort of nonsense is that? You see the Western world, if citizen will be in another country, they send aeroplanes to go and uplift their citizens, take out of there. What is wrong with us Africans? When there was a war in Sierra Leone, the British, they sent their planes to go and uplift the British nationals. They took them out of danger. They love their citizens. African governments will not do that. African governments will have irresponsible officers who will use live ammunition, killing their own people. And we call ourselves Muslims. Walatina, ndakuma kelim fala jam. Wallahi, ntolla nyi sungol linje nyi kolbe nima hakilotu. Nima hakilotu aseke ken samati. Ngongang kwan kuma de muslima yalla mbuka muslima daj. Ustaz bun jannana yafo, nda man ken de la wotide. That great scholar Usman Bunjang, Ustaz Bunjang, he once said, the soul of Islam, mune tubabi nyoko ami, nyun body bi lañ am. Te woma olan toñati. Ako islamu niyo be tubabo lebulun to la balajato le bentol bulu. But the niyo ni balajato mune important. And this is the words of that great scholar. That's not my words. African government all atol bukal la mo look after. All right? Tubabo jang. Western world ni be lañ aggression o kede bita Taliban la fight la wareta Iraq wareta Libya barita ni le kidote be la on mol faka ila security officer momo ya kajam ite to fulan jan ngo nga fo jan demonstration o kete in the UK. Shops were bombed worth millions of pounds, not dollars. Business all tinyata, student all university students all they protested, they vandalized. Not a single student lost his life. And in Kirolo, British police or wala kiro wartan to lanyi PI officiality. But ye found control, ye tear gas will use. President Anama Baro, billahi ni fulanjan to kotenge. I'm going to say that here. We are going to ask the Gambian population to come out and demonstrate against your government. Whether they will do it or not. If this happens again, let this be the last time somebody's live ammunition is used in that country. Because if it happens again, we are going to ask the citizens to come out and demonstrate massively against this government. Because this got to stop. Just a mere talking is not going to make this stop. We have to act. Alright? Civil society groups in Gambia. This is where you become effective. Alright? If this incident of this nature happens again in that country, those of us in the diaspora, let's watch. Let's call for a massive demonstration for people to come and protest peacefully. I'm not saying that we should do violence. I'm not a violent person. I'm not going to advocate for violence in that country. But people have a right in accordance with the constitution, all right, for people to protest in that country. Bakare Jata, I suspect who you are. I'm going to block you after the video. If you are idiotic again to use a fake profile because I block you with your real profile, so I'm going to block you now. I think I know who this Bakare Jata is. Guys, don't worry. Okay? After this video, I'm going to block this Bakare Jata. You see, the people who pretend to be Muslims, they are right. When you are blocked on your real profiles, you go and create a fake profile, and then your words can tell people who you are. But I'm going to block you. Maybe you're going to create another fake profile again. So this is what is going to happen. I'm not going to lead any problem. But what I'm saying is, if people are going to ask peaceful protest, if it makes me in Gambia, I would join a peaceful protest because lives are lost. Okay, lives are lost, and if lives are lost, I'm not advocating let people because I'm going to say something here. Gambians are very good at twisting people's words. I'm not asking for violent demonstration in Gambia before they say, "Oh, say who call Gambian?" Go in line with our constitution. Gambians have a right to peaceful protest, okay? And I'm saying that if lives are lost again, if this security forces, this happen again, we should ask for peaceful demonstration to express our grievance. That's our right, all right? Okay? There's nothing wrong with that. Because you cannot keep killing our people just like that. And somebody saying whether I will lead, well, if I'm in Gambia, I will join it. All right? So that is the problem. I'm not going to waste my time talking to an idiot like Bakari Jad. I'm going to block you after this video because you are not adding value to this discussion. So this is what we are saying. Gambia, let's condemn this acts. President Adama Barrow, a word for the wise is enough. We want you to succeed. If not anything, you are from the UDP family. You were part of UDP when most of us were not part of UDP, and you fought hard for the United Democratic Party. You did well for the party. You were the treasurer. You put your resources. That's why we don't want you to have a bad legacy. If you see some of us talking, we want you to succeed. But you cannot succeed with bad elements around you, with incompetent interior minister handling your security matter. You will not succeed, inshallah. Sorry, you will not succeed, rather. Look at your team. You should know those who love you and those who don't love you. Somebody who is telling you the truth, in the heat of the moment, you may not like the person, but it's the person who wants you to succeed. Yahya Jammeh, the people who used to mislead him, today they've all distanced themselves away from him. They go to the commission and they throw Yahya Jammeh under the bus. The people today who are around you, this Barrow movement, trying to think that they love you, when things go bad, they are the very people who will go out and say, President Binandu, money. President Adama Barrow, they say in your back, some of these people, they say Adama Barrow Nandu, they will try to make best use of this government and rig themselves. They say that. All right? It's just that I don't have a permission of my source, and it's only fair to say that, but I could have given names of some of the senior officials who purportedly say these statements. And they are still in the government. They will back by the president saying that President Adama Barrow Nandut. But they are in the government. When they see you, they will smile with you. They will laugh. They try to laugh with you. But at the back, they laugh at you. They will laugh with you when they are with you, but they laugh at you in your back. So, bari ko ala barka bake jeno na quick Facebook live ti because menkada na banko Gambia ni kuya warata bakele. Every Gambian should condemn it, and mbalbe tendula bakele people who actually join my Facebook live. So tomorrow we'll be back on the UDP Generation Talk. So myself, Ndai, and others will be back with Yabinta and the entire Generation Talk Show team, Ibrahim Tunko and hopefully Shirif. If we can have our brother Ibu Jalo fine, and Mr. What is his name, Mr. Jeng Suleiman, give us his security perspectives. But we have a lot of interesting programs for you coming on the UDP Generation Talk. So we will have our first dialogue with the government program, where I think Mama Linger will be there with Mamadou Krobali, with Karamba Toure, myself. I'll be hosting that program. That is coming on, I think, next week. But Ndai is our PR. It is our PR. She will be updating you guys. She is responsible for our PR. She is responsible for dissemination. So that will happen. So, Team again, we say, why didn't you disclose this before? What? Disclose what? So I don't know what you're asking. I'm tracking on in the Edis domain without taking permission. Maybe she's gonna fire me. She's the boss. Anyway, so but she's that's her PR. So she will be updating you guys on the programs. I'm not gonna let the cats out of the bag, but we have got interesting programs coming on the platform. We'll be talking about important things for country. And thanks for joining my Facebook Live, and let the debates continue. Tomorrow, all eyes on Gambia. As the National Assembly invites the Interior Minister and the IGP, but all eyes on Gambia to see whether our president will actually address the nation. We are watching. We are demanding he address the nation, but we are watching as well. I mean, the first thing that you should tell the president when you go to the office tomorrow, Mr. President, address the nation. The VP, what you should tell your boss, Mr. President, address the nation. It's going to be. When there was demonstration in the UK, the Prime Minister addressed the nation. He came out and addressed the nation because it's a big incident. Now we've got two of our citizens brutally murdered, callously murdered. The president should address our nation. There's no excuse for that. President Adama Barrow, the ball is in your court. On that note, good night, Gambia. Just speaking my mind as it is, and we'll continue speaking our mind because we cannot take this country for granted, and nobody can. We don't care who you are. The Gambia is bigger than all of us. The Gambia cannot be taken for granted because the change that we fought for, we fought in the hardest way possible. We will not allow some of the loose goons in our country to take us for granted. That is something that we will not condone. And again, I'm going to conclude, this is not a UDP government. A UDP government elected in 2021 will not have a semblance of the way this government is behaving. I can assure you that. It will not behave like this. So let nobody say, oh, we're going to have a UDP government. It's going to be. No, a UDP government will not behave like this because we've got a lot of smart, intelligent people in the UDP. All right? They're not going to have greedy people like some of the people that surround him. President Adama Barrow himself may not be bad, but he's got bad people influencing him, and he needs to detach himself from those people. All right? That's the way he can mend some of this, do damage control to these people. But a UDP government will not behave like this one. Be assured of that. A UDP government will not have a semblance of this coalition government. This coalition government has got greedy elements around it. Some of these Yahya Jammeh enablers around the president, misdirecting the president, and some of them is still in the security forces. We can see that. But we want the interior minister to go. I'm going to say that again. Mbalo staying in that position is detrimental to the peace and stability of that country. On that note, good night, everybody, and thanks for watching.